Okay, welcome back to the Find Your 20 Coaching Insights Show. I'm your host, Mark Sieverkrop. And if you're a business owner who's looking for more focus, more profits, more time, then like always, you are in the right place because this is the show where I share the top insights that I have received from recent coaching sessions with my personal clients to help you throw out the 80% in your business that's holding you back so that you can actually build a business that you love owning and a lifestyle that you're excited about. That's right. If your business was these 5 Find Your 20 stickers, pretty cool, huh? We would throw out 4 of them and we would focus on the one that's most important. But before we get started, I want to share with you today's featured resource. And this is something I shared with you a few weeks ago as well, but it's the Hidden 20 Audio Mastermind. This is something that I created on a whim about a month ago as an idea that came to me one day to create a way to share with you, to create an audio mastermind and share with you my daily thoughts, my insights, the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm trying out in my business, the conversations that I'm having with people, the books that I'm reading, the retreats that I'm going to, all of those things. It allows me to share those things with you in nearly real time. So every single day, every single weekday, I share something that is happening in my life, something I'm learning, something I've read, some conversation I've had, and I share it with you in real time. For example, just this past week, I was sharing how I'm changing the way that I'm offering my virtual retreat, the way I'm structuring the offer for my virtual retreat. And I completely revamped it. And it's really exciting. I can't wait to share it with you. That'll be the featured resource here in a few weeks, is that virtual retreat. And I'm super excited to make it so available for so many people. I'm super excited about that. But I shared that in the Audio Mastermind this week. So if you're an Audio Mastermind member, you already know what that change is and how exciting it is for those that take advantage of it. And just in the last 2 weeks, I went back and added up, just in the last 2 weeks, I've added nearly an hour and a half of exclusive content just for Audio Mastermind members. I've added an hour and a half of content. So if you're not subscribed to the Hidden 20 Audio Mastermind, you're really missing out on some of the best stuff that I'm sharing each and every week. So if you want to check that out, if you want to learn more about the Hidden 20 Audio Mastermind, just go to findyour20.com/hidden20. And I've heard of some people of having issues with that. So if that link doesn't work, make sure you type in https:// and then findyour20.com/hidden20. Sometimes with some browsers, you have to put that HTTPS at the beginning, otherwise it won't work. And for all of my recommended resources, make sure you go to findyour20.com/my best resources to get those resources as well. All right, so let's jump in. I have 3 things I want to share with you this week, and they're pretty cool. They're pretty interesting. So the first one I want to share is I want to ask you a question, and I want to ask you, what is the hub of your business? What is the hub? What is the product that is the hub of your business? I was having a conversation this past week with a potential client, and her and I were talking, and we were talking about all the different products she had, the things that she was promoting, and I pulled out my Remarkable tablet and I drew a hub. Actually, I might be able to show it to you for those of you that are watching on YouTube or on Spotify. Let me see here. I can show you just real quick what I drew. So I drew this hub like this. And if you think of a hub like the hub of a wheel, there's a focus in the center, and then there's spokes that go out from it. And I shared with this potential client, I said, this product of yours is your hub. It's what you're driving everyone to. It's your main product. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that every other thing you do drives people into that product. And sometimes I think we get so many products that we think of them as being individual, but there's usually one product that you want, ideally, everybody in your business, every client, every customer, every prospect, Ideally, you want them to get to that product. It could be a high-end coaching package. It could be a membership. It could be your main course. Whatever it is, you want to get them to that. And so think of that as your hub and think of everything else as directing people to that. So with this potential client, I was talking to her and I said, look, you've got all these one-off video trainings. On every single page that those trainings are housed on, there should be a link somewhere that says, get this product, get this. For her, it's a membership. So have you checked out the membership? Sign up for the membership here. Get a free trial of the membership, whatever it is. Everything should point back to that main product. That is the hub of your business. And if you think of it that way, it allows you to make your business easier to understand for you and for your customers because everything's driving to that one point. That is the main goal. That is the focal point of everything you do, is getting them to that main focus. So every blog post you write, every social media post, every product they buy should direct them back to that. Now, when I say direct them back, not necessarily directly from that thing. So like, I'm not saying that every single blog post you write or every single social media post has to have a call to action to join that membership or buy that program, but it should take them on a path that sooner or later leads back to that. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, I was talking to somebody this week and we were talking about their goals for the next year. And they said something to the extent of, this isn't an exact quote, it's more of a paraphrase, but it was something like, they almost apologized and they're like, you probably think I'm crazy because I don't want like a $500,000 business or more. And, I just want to be able to have the time that I want and make enough to be able to do what the things that I want to do. And I stopped them and I said, hold on. I said, I have no agenda for what your business should be. And I don't think any coach should. My goal is to find out for my clients, for you, what is it that you want? What does ideal look like for you? What is your ideal business? What is your ideal lifestyle? What is your ideal revenue? And then let's figure out a way to get that. I have no ulterior motive. I don't want every single one of my clients to have a $500,000 business or $1 million business or a $10 million business. I don't want every one of my clients to want to work 20 hours a week like I want to. I want for them what they want for them. And I believe a good coach should be that way. So there's a couple of things I want you to take from this. One, I want you to take from it that your business is your business. And the way you want your business structured is totally okay. It's absolutely perfect the way it is. If you're happy with the amount of revenue you have right now and you just want to create more time, great. Let's find a way to do that. If you're not happy with your revenue and you want to get more revenue, but you want to work the same amount or you want to have the same schedule that you have right now, great. Let's figure out a way to do that. If you want to, if you're willing to work a little bit more and you want to increase your revenue, awesome. Let's do that. But I don't come into a coaching relationship saying, I want you to have this type of business. I go into the coaching relationship and say, what do you want that business to be? In my virtual retreat, one of the first things we do in that retreat is we identify what success looks like and what your parameters are for your business. When do you want to work? How much do you want to work? What days do you want to work? When do you want to start work? When do you want to end work? We ask all of those questions because it has to be what you want. It's your business. It's no one else's business. And so it made me smile, but I also think it's sad that people assume that everybody wants them to have a certain level of income. Everybody wants them to have a certain lifestyle. I don't. I want it to be whatever they want it to be. So I encourage you to think about that. What does that mean? Do you want your business to generate more revenue? Do you want your business to provide more time for you? Do you want more time and more revenue? Do you want to have the same amount of time and more revenue? Do you want to have, whatever that combination is, that's what's most important. But you have to know what that is for you. And then let me help you to accomplish that. Let me ask you the questions and give you the feedback and the insights and the counsel and the guidance and the advice to get you to that place. But until you know what you want and you're comfortable in knowing what you want, it's very, very hard for any coach to help you to get that. It's that old, from what is it? Alice in Wonderland. If you don't know where you're going, any road will lead you there. And with this person, as I was talking to them, they're like, well, I'm going to have some more time in the next year. Their kids were getting older. And they said, I'm going to have more time in the next year. I said, okay, with that more time, do you want to work more or do you want to work the same amount? That's an important thing to know right now, because the things that I talk with this person about, the things I recommend to them, is going to be based on what they want from that business. If they say, I want to spend some more time on my business now that I have the time, I love what I do, I want to spend a little bit more time, great, then let's do that. But if they want to keep the time the same, then we need to know that up front too. So it's important to know where you want your business to be, what you want it to be, what you want your lifestyle to be, so that you can do that and put in the processes and the plans in place in your business to accomplish that. Okay, number 3, I was reviewing a client's brochure for their program recently. And I do that on my Remarkable. It's really fun. This is one of the most fun things I do with my clients is if they send me a document that they want me to review, whether that's an email or a brochure or a proposal, I add it to my Remarkable. And then I screen share to my computer. I record my screen with Zoom, and then I walk them through and I talk through the entire brochure or email or whatever. And I use red marking on my Remarkable, and I talk through it, and it's like I'm sitting next to my client and we're talking through this document. And so I'll say, oh, we're going to change this because, I would change this and I would do this. And so I was going through this with one of my clients with brochures. And one of the things that came up as I was reading through their copy was something that I think is really important. It's something that was brought again to my attention recently as I was listening to a book called Cashvertising. It's by Drew Whitman, I think is his name. Drew something Whitman. There's a middle name in there too, but you can get it at findyour20.com/cashvertising, and it's just how it sounds: CASHVIT, no, CASHVERTISTISING. Yeah, and we'll put that in the notes to the show notes too. But one of the things he talks about is how important questions are in our copy to pull readers into our copy and to pull them through our copy. And that's something that I talked with this client about. And I pointed out a few different places, and they'd started their brochure, their copy, with something along the lines of, attention, so-and-so, whatever, or it's your time or something like that, which is powerful. But think about how more powerful it is are you ready to whatever? Because the minute you ask a question, when your prospect reads that sentence, it pulls them into the copy and they immediately answer the question. And it attracts the right people and it pulls them to the next line because you ask a question, they answer. Now it feels more like a conversation and they start reading farther down. Think about that. Pay attention when you're reading any sort of sales copy. When you're watching the news or anything, when they ask a question, pay attention to how you respond. And you almost unconsciously will answer that question. So if you can use questions in your copy, you can pull readers into your copy, and you can pull them through your copy by asking a good question, by asking a question that leads them on to the next thing. If you read really good copy, it's very conversational. It has you having a conversation with the author as you're reading through it. You might be reading a brochure or sales copy or something, and you get to a point and it says, what do I mean by this? Well, let me tell you. And then it goes on and it pulls you through that. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of curious. I got these and I know they're sales copy. I'm curious if I can point something out or show you an example of this. You notice a lot of people doing this when they, in their headlines, is asking a question. I'm just looking here to see if, oh yeah, here's a good one. So this is from Russell Brunson's Behind the Scenes Marketing Secret Sales Letter. And right here in the copy, he uses a question. And it says, so the line before it says, but these were 2 different newsletters and people had to pay for 2 different subscriptions. So we thought, so I'm reading this and it says, so we thought, what if we created an irresistible offer and put these 2 newsletters together? When you read that, you immediately think, what if they did? That would be interesting. And then you go on. That way, people could get both newsletters for the price of one. And it continues on. And asking questions like that, and then so in the no BS magnetic marketing letter that you also get with that, Dan Kennedy does the same thing, but he does it as a headline right here. He says, what is the no BS magnetic marketing letter? He asks a question, and it may be the question that's in our mind. It may be a question that you answer, but either way, it pulls you into the copy because we want to know the answers to questions. We do. It's just a normal thing. And if it's a question asked of us, it's even more powerful because then we respond. You know, it's like a social norm that if somebody asks you a question, you respond. I mean, how many times have I told my kids that? Hey, when somebody asks you a question, you need to answer them. That is ingrained in us. And so if you can use that in your copy, it pulls people into the copy and it keeps them reading. And if you may have heard copywriting experts say that the purpose of the first line of your copy is to get somebody to read the second line. And the purpose of the second line is to get them to read the third line. The purpose of the third line is to get them to read the fourth line, and so on and so forth. And so if you can pull them through the copy with strategically placed questions, it helps them stay engaged. And you can do the same thing with videos. You can do the same thing with social media posts. Questions are very powerful because it engages it. It turns the person reading it or listening to it from being a bystander to being involved in the process. There's a question. Now I need to answer it for myself. And the answer may be no. The answer may be no, I'm not looking for that. You know, you see that with ads a lot where it's like, are you looking for this? The answer is either yes or no. And if the answer is yes, then you're going to keep reading. You're like, well, yeah, actually I am looking for that. Well, yeah, I do have foot fungus or whatever it is. And if the answer is no, you know it's not for you, which is the goal of your copy, is to identify the right people and is to disqualify the wrong people. So that's my encouragement to you, is to find ways to use questions in your copy to pull your readers into it and to pull them through that copy. So today we've talked about the idea of having a hub in your business, a product that is the hub, that's the main point that you point everybody back to. We've talked about how it's important to understand exactly what you want your business to be and not to assume or not to let somebody else tell you what that business should be or what your lifestyle should be, but you need to define that for yourself. And we've also talked about the power of questions and pulling people through your sales copy, your emails, your advertising, whatever it is. And I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. I appreciate you listening to this episode. If you haven't yet, make sure you grab your free copy of my book, Find Your 20, by going to findyour20.com/grab your copy. Just pay for shipping and handling. I'll send it to you. There's some extra goodies that come with it as well. And we'll drop it in the mail ASAP. That's findyour20.com/grab your copy. And again, if you haven't yet, check out the Hidden 20 Audio Mastermind. It's daily content from me. Usually it's between 5 and 12 minutes of content every single weekday, sharing the latest things that are happening, the things I'm trying out, the things I'm testing, the things I'm learning. And you get it absolutely every single weekday for very, very little investment, way less than if you and I were to talk as a coach and a coachee. So check that out at findyour20.com/hidden20. And if you know someone who has a podcast or a show where you think it'd be valuable for me to share the things that I teach in Find Your 20, or if you have a show and you would love to have me as a guest, I'm open to doing some interviews. Just reach out to me at mark@findyour20.com and we can get that scheduled. And as always, if you love the show, please leave a rating or review on your preferred podcast app. That makes a big difference in helping other people find and enjoy the Find Your 20 Coaching Insights show. And until next time, get out there and chase your 20.